What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This, of course, is the host, Anthony Sain. I'm here with my guy, Kenny Stubblefield, on the other side of the internet. Kenny Stubblefield, what's going on with you, my brother?
My brother, you good?
Man, I'm super good, man.
Such a weird day, man. So I picked up my kids from school. It was raining like cats and dogs outside. And I drive them home, and all of a sudden it's sunny as all hell. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is this weather?
It's one of those days for sure. It definitely was raining. I got out in between the rain. Just weird weather, man. Weird times here in the city of Memphis for sure. Man, my anxiety is going crazy, bro. Because I haven't, as far as the Grizzlies and the draft are concerned, in a long time, man. Because this is one of those summers where we have so many options, period. Like, there's just so many. It's like Dr. Strange, man. I'm literally over here going through all the different possibilities to make stuff happen. Of course, we're talking about this a couple of days removed from the Memphis Grizzlies lottery. The NBA draft lottery was the other night. The Grizzlies found out they'll be at 9th. There's a couple of strange narratives out here that I'm just kind of tired of talking about, man. Number one is, it's just such a deflating outcome, and it's just so deflating. I'm like, bro, like we were in 7th, man. Like you're either gonna go up, you're gonna get bumped up to the top 4, which mathematically isn't likely, or you're gonna probably move down. Like the chances of you staying at 7 definitely weren't happening. You're probably gonna either move up a spot or 2, or you're gonna move up. Down a spot or 2, or you're gonna move up to the top 4. Like, there's nothing deflating about being at 9. Like, this is one of the very most likely outcomes going into the lottery or whatever. But the Grizzlies landed 9, and it's strange, man, because this being around at 9, 10, 8th pick is such a strange spot in any draft, but especially in a draft here where it's a beauty is in the eye of the beholder type draft for sure. Like, these guys anywhere from literally 2 to 10. Depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? With some
it depends on who's watching, right?
Yeah.
It depends on who's judging the player.
Right, because if you look at some of the analysts, you got guys saying Ron Holland is the best player in this draft. You got people saying that Donovan Clingan is the best player in this draft. I've seen Reed Shepard be number 1 in this draft. Alexander Sarr. Just so many different viewpoints on this draft. It's going to come down to what a particular team wants. And, of course, we saw the news today coming out that the Grizzlies are open. In some cases, they've said that they're shopping their number 9 pick, which I thought, it's all relative. I think that really matters. That depends on, like I said, this draft. What's there when the Grizzlies go up? If there's a guy the Grizzlies like, I think they'll take him. And in order to trade that pick, it has to be somebody available that another team wants. So with that being said, that definitely doesn't sound like something. I can tell you now, that's not a before the draft trade. Like, that's not happening days before the draft like we typically see. That's something you'll see in real time. like
night of, like, hey, the Grizzlies
no. That's something you'll see as the draft is unfolding. Because if a team trades up to Memphis, it's because they're chasing somebody. You know what I mean? Or if the Grizzlies want to make that trade, it's because the guy that they don't want. The guy that they want is not there. So we'll talk about more of those things with Parish Sharkey, who comes on with us very soon. Can't wait to get him on. This is going to be a good week. Our guy Chip Williams is going to be on with us Friday. Chip is, of course, the NBA draft analyst for Love City Media. He'll come on with me on Friday's show. But I know that me and Parish
we're going to have to, me and you and Chip are going to have a conversation on Friday.
Okay, cool. Do
you remember last year's conversation with Chip? We had a hot take that ended up failing badly.
What was it?
The Brandon Miller scoot. Miller, Scoot Henderson.
Yeah. I don't know what you were saying, but I know I was wrong as hell. On Brandon
all three of us were just banging on how Brandon Miller was terrible this, terrible that. Charlotte's a joke of a franchise. Scoot Henderson's the next guy. This kind of stuff.
They drafted Paul George for real.
They went out and got Paul George for real. So we're gonna have to take what we say with a grain of salt, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But that just kind of speaks to how this whole draft is. The drafting process is such a crapshoot, man. Because, like, you look at guys, and I'll talk about this with Parish Sharkey too. You look at a guy like Ron Holland, right? Or guys like, Stephon Castle, guys who didn't shoot well as amateurs, right? And people say, okay, well, do we want a guy who can't shoot? It's such a crapshoot, man, because, like, most of the guys in the NBA now who are average to good shooters were not average to good shooters in college. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys who got into the NBA and became the players they are. You know what I mean? So finding those guys, identifying those guys who had those potential. I don't know if there's any science to it at all. It may be an absolute crapshoot, but we'll see as far as that goes. I don't have any level of disappointment about picking a 9. Of course, I would have preferred to be in the top 5, but it kind of puts you. Like I said, it's not doing my anxiety any favors. Like I said, I'm just all the possibilities, man. Like you can move up, you can move down, you can move out. There's just so many things you can do at 9. And in this particular draft, I think it's going to be so many moving parts, man, where you can see guys. I think you'll see guys possibly move that could be there that we didn't expect to be there. Whether that guy's a good fit for us or a good fit for another team is all, remains to be seen.
I mean, I've heard people, and I know you're going to talk about this with Parish, but I've heard people say even Donovan Clingan could be available at 9. Do you think he's going to be available? I mean, do you think?
Yes.
Do you think a guy?
I think he could. I think there's a possibility. There are things about Clingan that we have to keep in mind. I hate we're just not recording because one of those things has already happened, right? And some of the things I want to talk about with Clingan is his foot was an issue this year. Like the injury to his foot, that was a real deal with him. And teams are going to want to see those medics from between now and the draft. That's something that could definitely swing him in this draft. You know what I mean? The measurables, the stuff that we saw yesterday. He's slower than Edey. You know what I mean?
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. So hey, those kind of things can scare teams away, man. When you have these notions of a guy and you find out that they're not what you thought they were, those things can help and hurt some guys. You've seen guys like Reed Shepard who looks like his numbers are going to help him actually. You know what I mean?
42 highest vertical in the combine.
He's shorter than I thought he was. I thought he was closer to 6'4", 6'5". He's probably closer to 6'1", 6'2". In reality, but yeah, man, that kind of stuff. We'll see how it all plays out. Like I said, at 9, I think who knows what can happen, man. There's a lot of interviewing is going to happen. Going to have individual workouts with guys, and those things matter, man. Like and like I said, who knows who could be there at 9. I'm gonna tell you what I'm tired of though. There's a lot of, and I blame people like the Chip Williams of the world who put out these numbers of guys that have been taking it in the 9th pick, right? You know what I mean?
I saw that whole list yesterday on Twitter.
And I'm listening to Jeff Calkins' show. They're talking about it, and it's like, people ask, well, how excited can you be? Listen to some of the names in the last 10 years. Those type of lists are only indictments of who teams have picked at those picks. It doesn't mean that's not an indication of what's available at those picks.
Like if you were to rework that draft, some of those dudes probably should
back and see who was around those picks, man. You know what I mean? That's what the indication is, what level of talent was around it. I don't really credit guys that were 10, 15 picks lower, but if a guy's in that around 4 or 5 picks around the pick we're talking about, that's how you really tell, how good that position was, for guys that were picked around that area. But like I said, there's not a such thing as a bad draft to me, man. There's 480 guys in the league, something like that, 460, something like that. And every year, 60 more guys are going to be brought in the draft. And if you're in the top 10, it means you got a pretty good shot of picking one of them. You know what I mean? There's going to be some good players coming out of this draft. So with the Grizzlies, whether they keep this pick or they move on from it, I think they're in a great position. I'm excited about it, man. There's so many opportunities. You're going to hear more and more things. Certain guys are going to rise. My guy Drew Hill is out with the combine. The combine's in Chicago or Vegas? Where's
Chicago.
Yeah. He's out in Chicago for that. We got news, assistant coach news. A little short white dude they hired who looks like he didn't even know how to play basketball. Hired as an assistant coach for the Grizzlies, also director of player development. We'll talk about that with Parish as well. Drew's out there in Chicago. Got an interview with, got some quotes from Zach Edey. Lot of exciting things going on in the NBA right now. If you're a Grizzly fan, these are exciting times, man. Like so much going on, so many moving parts between now and draft night. And yeah, man, I'm down for all of it. My anxiety is high. I had to get down with my people, my good friends at Create A Cig last night. We'll talk about that for Inside the Same Brain, man. Yeah, we'll talk about all that as the show goes on. But we're about to take a break, man. My boy Parish Sharkey definitely is in the building each and every Wednesday. We'll be back with him. We'll see you guys in a minute here on the Anthony Sain Show.
We have not paid attention, to the NBA for a while if we think that because Ant is succeeding and becoming a face of the league, Ja can't be a face of the league. And I just think it's a needless conversation. Like, you can clip a
a Ja highlight, an Ant highlight, very easy. And I think that's why those two dudes 100% will be two of the faces of the league going forward.
There's all kinds of guys that are talented enough you could throw him into that conversation. When he's healthy and when he's playing, Ja is the number one guy they push because he is, one, a winner, and two, an absolute highlight factory.
Yeah.
I couldn't give two dams about who's the face of the league if the Grizzlies win a championship.
I don't care.
Come hang out with Daniel Greer and Nathan Qualls on Grizz 901 Live. Every Tuesday night at 901 live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And like, I get it. Like, some people are like, "Oh, great addition." Some people are like, I don't care about this one. Who gives a damn? They should be aiming higher. Like, did we not learn a damn thing from last year?
Are there no lessons from last year?
They didn't have good team chemistry. Penny and Rick were struggling on who to put on the floor at times. You had weird rotational issues. Find guys that play roles for you. I think Tyreek Smith, I'm like high on it because I think it's an escape from last year's blunder.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. We're here, of course, with my man, Parish Sharkey. Y'all know him as the Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media. He joins us here each and every Wednesday. Paris, what's going on, my brother?
What's good, my guy? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Exciting times here in the city of Memphis, man. The Grizzlies were crushed. Finding out they'll be picking the ninth.
We would. I ain't gonna lie. That show was like that.
No, man, shut up, man. What do you mean we got crushed? We were in 7, man. We fell 2 picks. I mean, somebody moves up every year. It wasn't us, so we went to 9. I mean, it's just kind of how it falls, bro. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. What are your initial thoughts when you saw some of the go ahead, what you saying?
No lie, bro. I couldn't so it was Mother's Day, so I took my mother in law out to eat. So I'm watching it in the car, waiting for our table to get in the restaurant, right? Soon as that happened, like I think soon as Atlanta and Houston both jumped into the top 4, I knew then I was like, dang, we dropped. So they called us a 9. I cut the jump off. I didn't even watch the rest. After Atlanta got that one pick like hours later, I shut it off for the day.
And I was watching on the extremely bootleg stream, right? So I put my phone off to the side because I didn't want to know how far. I'm sure it was way behind real time. So I put my phone and my Apple Watch off to the side. I didn't want to see any Twitter notifications, right? So I was trying to watch it and what my real time would be. So when I saw them talking about teams moving up, I was like, yeah, we're done. And then it popped up that we were, at 9th or whatever. So yeah, but here's my thing too. You guys know I lean hard on the conspiracy stuff, right? I talk about the draft being rigged. Do you want to hear my thoughts on this year's draft lottery and if it's rigged or not?
Go ahead. Might as well. We got that stuff.
All right. I think sometimes there's like clear things they're trying to do, like when they try to get certain guys to certain markets or whatever they're trying to do. I think that's happened all throughout time. But I think sometimes, especially in a year like this where there is no, the thing about this year's draft is that not just is it a quote unquote bad draft when people say that, but I think it's more so it's stuck in between two maybe really good players who are going to be number one. You know what I mean? When you had Wemby last year, then you got the what's the kid next year? The white kid, the big
Cooper.
Yeah,
Cooper
Flag, right? When you're stuck in between those two guys, this year's class kind of is what it is. But I think this is one of those years where Adam Silver was like, all right, you booty ass teams, right? Like Detroit. Like I feel no mercy for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I thought I showed y'all last year, like just being ass, unbelievably ass like that, just don't work. You know what I mean? And then a team like Houston, why not reward them? You know what I mean? Why not reward them for playing all the way through? Team like Atlanta who didn't realize how sorry they are. Like, why not, bro? Atlanta don't get it. Like they really think they're the team from the Eastern Conference Finals a few years, but they really think they're still that team, right? They're still trying to compete. They make trades every year. And then here's another thing too. When you're looking at the post LeBron, post Steph Curry, post Kevin Durant NBA, which is coming soon, very soon, you kind of want to set things up for the next wave, right? And I know people are throwing out the theories where this must mean Atlanta's looking ready to get ready to deal Trae Young and all that type of stuff, right? For Atlanta to get the #1 pick. Not just that, man, but as somebody who lives in the South and understands urban culture, all those type of things, right? If Atlanta ever really got a for sure good team, like top 4 in the East every year, like they're legit good, not like flash in the pan like they were for years ago, they shouldn't be jumping down there, bro. You know what I mean? Because their in-game experience is not bad when they're a good team at all. You know what I mean? So I think all those things matter. I think that I don't know about Washington. I don't think there's any conspiracy to that. I think there were certain things certain points he wanted to get across, and I think he just hit the random button for everything. So if you're a conspiracy like me, that's my explanation. If you think they was in there just pushing buttons and ping pong balls or flipping them, hey, cool. You know what I mean? That's cool too. But what were your thoughts, Parish, when you start seeing some of the mock drafts that are out here? Like we talked about in the first segment, they're all over the place. You have some mocks that have Donovan Clingan available to us in 9. Mock that have Stephon Castle available to us. You've seen Ron Holland connect all these guys you've seen connected to the Grizzlies, you know, at 9, depending on who you're asking. And then everything in between is just a jumbled mess of all types of players, straight up and down the lottery. How much? What do you think about that? And how much do you think the actual draft night will reflect something like that? It'll be totally unexpected and random.
I believe that's what we're headed for, because like you said, this is considered one of the weaker drafts, right? And normally like the weaker drafts do be like that. You don't know that year that weak draft where Anthony Bennett went #1. Nobody had him going #1. I don't think one person had him going #1.
I never knew that dude was until draft night.
Right, right. He went #1 then. Was out the league in 3 years. So they feel like, I ain't gonna say like got Anthony Bennett in this draft, but it just feels like that type of draft. I don't know. I feel like 1 and 2 seems likely Sar and I can't pronounce the dude last name that began with an R. The French.
Ricochet or something like that. Richette.
Yeah. It does seem like because of the 2 teams they are drafting up there, it seems like those 2 players fit seamlessly into those teams with Atlanta and Washington. Then after that, it becomes unpredictable because Jonathan Clingan, you look at the rest of the teams, I don't know who necessarily would. It might be 1 or 2 teams that might take like Portland, maybe. They can use Portland can use every position. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're really drafting based on best player, except a team like Houston. It seemed like Houston probably would draft based on need because but they were they just missed the play in. They were 11. So they might say, okay, we can pick a position that we need. And the same thing with Memphis, but Memphis at 9, you're definitely drafting best player available because if Clingan is gone, who's the next big man? Filipowski. If Ron Holland on their board, I'm taking Ron Holland. If Stephon Castle on them, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Dalton Connect. You know, I mentioned talking about him, another shooter. So I do feel like the draft boards reflect it, but they have been all over the place. The most recent one I saw on NBA.com, they did, I guess, different people from different companies like The Ringer, Garrett Parish, CBS, all did the mock. Ron Holland landed with the Grizzlies the most, and that was out of about 7 or 8 different predictions. Ron Holland was the one who landed at 9 the most.
I've got this theory, man, that I kind of lean on where regardless of what type of shooter a guy was before he made it to the pros, there are some guys that you look at their work ethic and you could kind of say, that dude's going to find a way to be good in this league. You know what I mean? And there are 2 guys in this draft that scream that to me. Who aren't particularly good shooters in high school or in their college or amateur or pre-NBA days. But I look at them and say, okay, I look at guys like Kawhi Leonard, right? I look at guys like Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? I look at guys like them. Look at guys like G.G. Jackson, right?
G.G.
Guys who just kind of find a way to become guys that can knock down shots, regardless of what was going on before them, because they're going to do the work. They're going to get in the gym. They're going to, if somebody's saying, okay, that's a weakness of yours, okay, we're going to make that better. That's why I always, whenever the discussion about the time machine conversations, like if you drop Michael Jordan in today's era, or if you drop this guy,
because he can't shoot.
Michael Jordan, who's the most competitive person in the world, if you drop that man in the 2020s game, he would be a shooter. And he would find, I can't shoot. That's a problem. All right, cool. I got you. You know what I mean? That wasn't a thing back then. You know what I mean? Guys were shooting. 2 threes a game, maybe, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was almost like a 3-point shot was like shooting from half court back then in their minds. So, you know, I think the guys who are great players find a way to adapt, and they put in the work to become that level of player. Kawhi Leonard was nothing but a super athletic dude that could run around and defend when he got drafted. And he turned himself into one of the better players in the NBA today, you know what I mean? Including being a guy that can knock down threes, you know what I mean? So, but those two guys in particular, something sticks out to me where, like, if those two guys are at the podium, you run and go grab one and don't worry about other stuff. I think they'll figure out a way to be great players, especially when I found out I'm on my boy Castle Tough. I mean, it's just something about that dude. He just has, like, I hate to call guys a winner, and that's something that kind of gets thrown around a lot because that UConn team was good whether he was on it or not. I mean,
they won back.
It's just something about that dude that he's just got like I could just see that dude in the playoffs just being ready, like year one ready when it comes down to Stephen Curry. So what are your thoughts on those two guys, or just that whole thing of, you know, looking past guys' bad shooting numbers before they got to the NBA?
I assume because you didn't mention them. I'm pretty sure Stephon Kelsey and Ron Holland are the two you talked about.
Yeah, that's what I said. Who I didn't say Holland.
No, you didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah. Look at that. You just know. You just know, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. And Stephon Kelsey saw his name pop up on that same draft board. So it was like it was either those two, Klingit or Dalton Connect, whoever is available at the time. Right? Yeah. I'm fine if we keep the pick and one of those 4 on the board, I'm fine. If you have to choose between 2 or 3 of them, I'm fine either way. I think all of them has a place. I think Dalton Connect is a shooter out the gate, right? I feel like Stephon Kelsey is a defensive player out the gate. Bro. Yeah, right. A good player that could develop a shot. And same thing, Ron Holland. I think he just gives you another dynamic, another wing. You can never in the wings. And Donovan Cleveland, I see him working on his shot. So you won't see a big man come in, then he might be able to shoot too. So hey, you might be fine either way on any of those 4 players.
A player that's coming around to me that I'm absolutely not down for drafting at 9. And the reasons why I want to draft him may come out weird to other people is Zach Edey. He's a guy that not sure he gets past Oklahoma City at their pick if he continues to rise in these mocks and things like that. I definitely don't want him at 9. But here's my reasoning for him, right? I'm gonna stamp hard on the best version of the Grizzlies today and going forward will be with Jaren Jackson Jr. playing center. I'm standing on it. Like I've heard the arguments. I see the same stuff y'all see. But that's my thing, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. needs to be the starting center on this team. Why? Mainly because it opens up your options of putting more guys on the floor and creating a lineup that looks like what today's winning NBA looks like, right? Where you got one big and you got basically 3 wings, and your biggest wing is your power forward. Like that's a winning formula, right? When you got a guy that's a 4-3, where you're talking about an Aaron Gordon, where you're talking about a Paul George, you know, just different, you know, all these big small forwards who are playing power forward. That's what typically every team is doing, right? So I just think that's the best version of the team going forward. And I think that's because if you're a Gigi Jackson fan, which I am, who I think Gigi Jackson could be a star in this league, I want him on the court. I don't agree with Chris Ingram and these type of guys' theory who say they want him starting a small forward. I don't think it's a good use of his talents if he's having to be your primary wing defender. But if you can play Ja Bain with Smart and Vince or whoever you're doing, and then have Gigi at the 4 with Jaren, you can make that work, I think you're all right. You know what I mean? And I think that looks like what most of the NBA looks like. And I know everybody, you know, got super excited seeing Minnesota get up 2 games to nothing on Denver, right? Everybody excited about that. The best game that Minnesota had against Denver was when they only had
Rudy Gobert.
It's when Rudy Gobert was gone. And since they tried that too big thing, I saw both of them on the ground looking like goofballs. You know what I mean? Like that happened.
That was so funny.
They said Aaron Gordon, go start doing Aaron Gordon shit. And then, okay, this is over. Series is back in Denver's hands, right? Now, to the people who say, is Jaren Jackson Jr., can he be a rebounding monster? No, he'll probably never be a rebounding monster in this league. No. Can Jaren go from 6 rebounds to 8? Why can't he? Why can't he get 2 more rebounds, you know? Why not? If he's the guy who gives you 8 rebounds a game, 8 to 9 rebounds a game as opposed to 6, I think you're happy with Jaren does. Or if you can find my guy Coach Vaughn on Twitter, shout out to him too. He basically was saying it's a math problem, bro. Like you need to get around X amount of rebounds per game, regardless of who's getting them. It's your guards, your wings, whoever. Find a way to get those rebounds. Josh Hart is getting twice, damn near 3 times as many rebounds per game.
That's Hart.
Who's a rebounding monster? You know what I mean? So I think that's what it all boils down to. But with that being said, going back to Zach Edey, right? I did all this to set up this. A guy like Zach Edey, if you're saying, okay, we're going to roll out Jaren Jackson Jr. as our starting center, right? Let's say that don't work. Or let's say you're getting killed in the first quarter doing it. All right, fine. Timeout. Zach, bring your big ass in. Jaren slide down to the floor. We'll be okay. You know what I mean? And he's a low maintenance guy. If he has to start some games, if the Jaren experience not working, you got this breaking case emergency big, who's one of the biggest bigs in the NBA period when he comes into the league.
Yeah.
And it's no harm, no foul. I think he's fine. I think he understands he's probably not going to be a starter in this league, and I think he'll just be happy to go wherever he goes, whatever his role could be. Is he going to be terrible at certain things? Probably so. But I think he'll be fine as far as being a guy who's a backup plan to Jaren at the 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where I'm at with him. I don't have any high praise for him. I don't think he's going to be Yao Ming, which is the most offensive, ignorant comment in the world.
Ethnicity is on the reason why.
Ethnicity comes are so ridiculous, bro. And this went hard. This went hard with Reed Shepherd, man. Because they're like, all right. This dude comes ain't lining up. I want to call this dude Kurt Heinrich, but he got a little bit more shit going on.
I got some hops.
It's like, what are we doing this? What are we doing? They can't find a call for that man for nothing. Is he a Brit area? Like, what are we doing? Oh, they struck this.
Who's the guy that stand up contest? Chase Budinger.
All right, yeah, exactly. Is he Chase Budinger? No, he's not. He's a way better player than those. All right, close your eyes. Give Reed Shepherd a comp. What is he? Imagine he ain't a white dude. Just give him a comp. Who are you comping him?
Oh, just a regular comp, man.
Shoot off the dribble, shoot off the catch, athletic.
Shoot out the triple, shoot out the catch. I got that on. I'm thinking like if a 6-man come out the bench who could just get buckets. Oh God, dog.
I got a name for you. I don't know about the athleticism though. This dude athleticism might have been on.
Hey, I want to say somebody like Jordan Clarkson, but not necessarily him though.
I got a name.
Who?
I don't know if he got the hops like this though. You will never hear anybody call that dude Donovan Mitchell, but if you want to look at his profile, there's a lot more Donovan Mitchell than anything.
Okay, I thought Donovan Mitchell came to my mind at first, but I don't think Reed gonna be a star. I'm thinking it was like a 6-man. I don't think he's gonna be like that's why. That's why.
Bro, like it's you look at this dopey looking frat boy ass white dude. It's like okay, you lazily want to give him some white guy comp, right?
Yeah.
But if that dude is athletic as they're saying he is, they can shoot the ball like he's doing off the dribble, off the catch and shoot. And probably some people are saying he shoots the ball off the dribble, but he does off catch and shoot. So it's like, who are you comping him to? Like, you got to come with a whole different comp for that dude for sure.
Right. I know. Ain't no white dudes doing it. he won one.
Hey, Kenny Stubblefield just came on a dope name, Jamal Murray.
Yo, the athleticism though, Jamal Murray.
The athleticism, that's crazy. Man, Russell Westbrook with a jumper. It's the coldest player ever. Oh man, but moving on, man. What does a perfect draft night look like for the Memphis Grizzlies?
Perfect draft night.
So many possibilities.
Know, man. Yeah, it's so many possibilities because they even saw some rumors about trade potentially. I don't know. It just depends. As long as they come out, I can't necessarily say they didn't come out with a big man because you still got free agency and you still got the rest of the summer. So I'm not necessarily.
Man, Chris Twitter going. If we come out the draft and don't have a big man, good God, bro, it's gonna be unbearable until free agency starts, bro.
Yeah, but you can get one. I mean, we got.
I don't care about that either. I don't care what fans have to say about nothing because I know it's gonna happen. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Of course, yeah, we got 2 second-round picks, so and I know a lot of people. I don't know if Khalil or Air falls that far away of where he's projected, but I've heard a lot of people like him. You probably trade back. Memphis always trades in the draft, right? They always trade into the first round, so that might happen. So, that's perfect night. Just make sure you You get
Let me stop you right there, man. Let me stop you right there. My bad, Perry. Let me stop you right there, though. People talking about the Grizzlies like this news came out. Oh, I'm hearing the Grizzlies are, looking at, the talking to teams. Let me say this. First of all, they don't really mean too much of nothing. Got to keep in mind setting, right? All of the NBA GMs are in the same building right now. They're in the same room for the draft combine, right? So people are going to talk. It's just doing your due diligence. You're going to talk to teams and say, hey, yeah, let's see what that is. That doesn't particularly mean the Grizzlies won't out of this draft. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
But,
they got 3 picks.
Good God, what were you saying? I can't remember what you said to trigger me now.
I was saying they trade back into they always trade into the first round. Yeah.
Right. You heard the Grizzlies talk about trading that pick, right? Mm-hmm. When have we ever seen the Grizzlies trade down in the draft?
Never. Not in Zach Climate era.
Yeah. Not in the Zach Climate era. We ain't seen them trade down at all. That sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
But this is Climate's a dude who likes to move up. He likes to get back into the first and all that type of stuff. And this might be a draft that you can get back into the first for real. So go back to what you were saying. I just want to throw it out there though, man. I'm just saying, like we hear this news saying the Grizzlies are looking into moving that pick. That's new territory to the Grizzlies. They ain't never moved down or out of a draft. They've always tried to move up and tried to get back into drafts and all, get back into the first or acquire another second round pick. That's their bag. So I just throwing it out there. But go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I was done. Like I said, the perfect night is just really just make sure to come out to draft with a productive player. Like, and also I would say probably condense the picks or something because you got 2 seconds, but you got two-way contracts. And I like those two. I realize Scott Pippen Jr.
The 2 guys we got on 2 ways yet.
Yeah, so you only need one more player. And I don't know, you had the guy, the draft and stash player from last year that's hooping overseas. Tyreek Bibby. I ain't finna try to that's the name.
Right, Michael Cole. I don't know.
Yeah, I get with him. I ain't about to try anymore. But really just trying to like either find a way to condense some picks, just keep 1 second, maybe he can stay overseas and just find a way where you're not wasting a draft pick on a player who's not gonna have a chance to even make the roster or make it even 2-way.
Well, we also got news yesterday that the Memphis Grizzlies signed a real Eric Hasseltine looking ass dude to be their assistant coach. I put out a tweet a few weeks ago saying that I heard that the Grizzlies could have some possible turnover with the assistant coaches. I was told several. I don't want to put
the Brian Windhorst.
To go Brian Windhorst for y'all ass. I didn't put out. I was told several. I didn't put out several because I know that I'd have to answer a million questions. I'll still answer a million questions. Then the official news came out. I'm not one of these newsbreaker guys. I just had some information. I feel like I just kind of throw my toe in that ring again. Like I said, the information came out officially from Kelly. I can't think of Kelly's last name on Twitter and from the Athletic. And he broke that. He heard, of course, like I said, everybody's in Chicago. There's a lot of little rumblings and news you're going to hear this week because everybody's in the same building. You know what I mean? So all the agents, all these things are going on. And all I know is that my boy, the Grizz strategy dude, what's his name? Adam Pike. Adam Pike was going nuts about it on Twitter. He's like one of my guys. I've been doing research on him. What do you think about this? Think about that signing, that addition for a guy who seemed to be doing all right on his own, who didn't really need the NBA. Well-respected guy, worked out with guys like Paul George. What do you think about the Grizzlies adding him not only as a player and development director, but also as an assistant coach on this team?
Cool. We just hope he actually produces and does something. I kind of tend to agree with guy Chris Ingram on that whole assistant coaches. I don't really see what their purpose was on the team. So hopefully, this guy has a purpose, and him having staff turnover lets me know some things about how I feel about what's going to happen if things don't go well next year for Mr. TJ.
Noah LaRoche. Noah LaRoche is the guy's name.
And Noah LaRoche, But hey, hopefully it's good. We got excited last year. We got the guy from Miami. I don't know if he's gonna remain on staff. We get excited when these things happen, but at the end of the day, the assistant coaches, I don't know exactly what they do. Or we know what they do, but we don't see it, right? We don't see it on a day-to-day basis. So hey, he sounds like he has promise, and we see how it rolls. The main thing next year is the team need to be healthy. Whoever you get on the coaching staff, hopefully you just get some guys that are a little bit more hands-on. Like I said, I'm not in practice. I don't know how. I don't know what these people do. I don't know.
Drew Hill was on Jeff Calkins' show today, and yesterday, Tuesday when we recorded this, and he was live from Chicago from the combine, right? And he was asked a question about the assistant coach hires, and he basically, it's all just kind of fluid information. And the Grizzlies are so tight-lipped about things they do. It seemed like what he's saying is that, which made perfect sense when you think about it, when it comes out to the assistant coach turnover, it basically came off like they're going to be replacements, but those replacements may or may not have already been made because of the coaching carousel. We don't know what all is going to happen, what guys are going to be available. They might be waiting on guys that are on playoff benches right now, those type of things. So, basically stay tuned. This is something that could go on the entire summer. We don't really know who's been let go. I've seen people going to, Grizzlies.com to see it going on Indeed and all these type of things to see who's got their applications out there, who got their resume out there, all these type of things. But I think it'll be interesting to see how that thing goes. But with that being said, man, how much of this, you said this yourself a second ago, how much of this do you think is a indication of Taylor Jenkins' comfort level as far as being the coach? Because you've seen people, the semantics Wizards are in full force, man. Everybody's got, I'm going to say this is a hot seat. And I'm like, all right, bro. The word hot seat comes from, that seat is not comfortable anymore. He's not sitting softly in that seat. It's letting you know that there's a little pressure on you. That seat is not that seat's a little warm. It doesn't particularly mean they're about to fire you, but it's not the same seat you were sitting in last year. Basically what that means. Yeah. What do you think? To me, man, I'm like, okay, this has to mean something. Like, but and then they're like, well, is it several? Does that mean 3? Bro, if it's
any type of, I mean, it's just as much as you got.
Right. If you have to flip over coaches, bro, and typically you're not going into the season saying, okay, I'm about to fire all y'all. That's coming from your boss. It's coming whether that's the owner, GM, somebody, Tayshaun, whoever. Somebody is making that happen. That's typically looks like something that's out of your control, right? So especially when you start talking about, when you're hearing people guys say things like, well, when it comes down to assistants and things like that, you can pay, there's no cap. You can pay guys whatever. That's Robert Parrish talk. You know what I mean? That's stuff we heard Robert Parrish say when he first bought this team, many years ago. So when you look at this, how much do you think this is any kind of implication on what level of pressure or how warm that seat that Taylor Jenkins is that he's sitting in?
It has to be. And even on the opposite end, let's say Taylor Jenkins decided himself he had to rearrange the coaching staff without ownership of telling him that means he felt pressure to do that. Right. So,
like, y'all need to get rid of some
Right.
So you're wrong. What the hell you be doing? Get your ass out of here. Come with me.
Nothing. Like save y'all on the ass, bro. Like, each way. So either way, the same. It goes back to there's pressure on Taylor Jenkins next year. Yeah, as it should be, and I'm pretty sure himself would say he should have pressure on himself next year. Then, granted, the team stays relatively healthy. As long as you don't have the same injury history as last year. If that happens, then I don't know. We just curse, huh? Yeah. Right. So we got to speak that to the existence. But it's definitely pressure. And I mean, he knows it. Team probably knows. They all feel it. They all talked about it at the X interviews. Like, hey, next year, it's the year. They look at OKC. They look at Minnesota. Although both teams are 2-2 in their series in the second round right now. When the boys come to it, and they both have the shots to make me in the Western Conference Final. You look at them too. We need to be there next year.
We wrapping up with my man Parish Sharkey here. Of course, is the beat writer for Bluff City Media. Grizzlies beat writer for Bluff City Media. Parish, I had this Go USA agenda, man. It was looking so good about a week ago. It was looking real good, bro. American basketball was doing good, man. It was doing good. Here we are a week later, man. 2 fat Europeans look like they're about to be playing for the Western Conference Championship. It was looking so much different, man. Hopefully Jason Tatum or one of the Team USA point guards can end this blight I'm seeing right now, man. But yeah. Hey, how much do you, just real quick, just talking about the playoffs real fast. The heart of a champion for sure. Denver was down 0-2. Series is tied at the point time this recording. How does this thing end up, man?
I think the winner Game 5 when this episode comes out, Game 5 being played. Whoever wins Game 5 wins the series. I'm predicting Denver to overcome and win it because they're great.
They win tonight is over. You won 3 straight.
Yeah. But I also believe if Minnesota wins, and so I think that gives them the momentum back to go. You back to home Game 6. I feel like now it's time for home teams to win, right? Yeah. But somebody's about to win at home finally, And if Denver wins, I think they're gonna go and finish out 6. And Minnesota wins, they're gonna finish out 6. So I just think they win that series. Win the game 5, wins the series. And I believe I'm choosing Denver, but this might look bad. It could look bad when
exactly.
this recording comes out.
It look kind of crazy. Of course, on the other side of the West, Dallas was up 2-1 Oklahoma City. Yeah. Oklahoma City, they were up big. Up big in game 3. I mean, game 4, lost that game. That series is now 2-2. You look at the Knicks-Pacers series. I did not think it was going to be close like this. I thought the Knicks was going to get the Pacers up out of here. Injuries. It's crazy how like the things you praise a team for can come back and bite you in the ass, and it can switch so fast on you. Yep. That's why you got to be able to make adjustments. For sure. This is something I criticized Taylor Jenkins about. That thing switched quickly on the Knicks, man. Yep. Now they're looking like they about to get up out of here.
I knew as soon as OG, it was him who got hurt. He got the hamstring. Yep. I knew then. I like that. Oh, he's important.
Yeah.
They lost him. I said, oh, yeah, they in trouble. And that was a hamstring too. I was like, he probably out. But rest of the series damn near. So, yeah, they in trouble.
Yep. And I don't know what Boston is. Hey. Boston would be, like I said, Boston is a much babyface Roman Reigns era team in the NBA.
They coasting.
Playing with food, indeed. It seemed like Jason Tatum, like, man, look, just get me to the conference finals. I'm about to turn up on y'all. I'll turn them when I need you.
Yep. Exactly.
That's what it's for sure. All right, man. I tell you what, man, about to take a break, man. You'll be back with me for the 3-pointer. I'm excited about that. We got some cool stuff to talk about. Yeah, man. Me and my boy Parish Sharkey here each and every Wednesday for the Anthony Sain Show. We come back, the 3-pointer here on Anthony Sain Show. See y'all in a minute.
Local Edey C celebrity Paul Feinbaum was in town today, made some comments to the local media regarding the University of Memphis football program. Basically came out flat out and said, one, he was wrong about Coach Silverfield. 2 years ago said that we needed to move a different direction. He wasn't the guy for the job. After last season, he thinks that Silverfield is the guy. He also went on record and said that the ACC and the Big 12 are both essentially, this is verbatim, effing idiots for not inviting Memphis to either one of their conferences. He did his quote say that. I added a little bit in there, a little flavor.
No one knows the answer why Memphis didn't get the ad with Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, and BYU is the fourth. Yeah.
What kind of held Memphis back was one, money, and two, lack of sort of on-field success and proving that they belong. And he said now they have both of those.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
David Jones, the NBA prospect.
Yeah.
I want to talk through this. I don't necessarily think he's a great fit right now for the NBA. And the reason I say that is he's got to be better on the defensive end because he's going to be either late second round or an undrafted free agent. And he's got to work his ass off on that end to really find his way.
Is his ceiling really going to be that much higher than it is right now, regardless of what he does? Yes, he still has some development to do, especially on the defensive end of the floor, but he's not getting any younger, and it's going to be hard, even if he is better defensively, to boost his stock because how much more of an offensive ceiling can he show in 1 year?
I still have real questions about him getting the ultimate answer he wants when he gets in front of these scouts. I just don't know if it'll be there. We'll see. I'm rooting for him because I want to see him go off to the next level and be successful.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show here for the 3-pointer, man. Got all my guys up here on the screen with me, man. We talk about 3 things that are going on in the world of sports. Got some Tiger basketball stuff to talk about to start this off.
Hey, before we do this, can we get a pronunciation?
Oh yeah.
Is it? What's his name? Is it Tariq?
Tyreek.
Tyreek.
I like this brother name.
I was thinking about power.
Act like this man is he's not from Europe or something like
from
hey,
Brooklyn.
You never know.
Tyreek Evans.
He's from Brooklyn. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Anyway.
Yeah, it's all good. The 3-pointer, man. We talk about 3 things going in the world of sports. We're gonna talk about some Tiger basketball stuff now. Now, I'm looking at something that's in the world famous Bluff City Media Discord that I literally just looked at during the break. I don't know if there's on-air conversation or off there. I just kind of glanced over and saw something that people are talking about. So, is it off air or is it on the air conversation on it?
Let's let it be on air.
I don't know what it says. Something about my boy Dame Danger. But what are you hearing on him on that front?
Nothing. Fans talking. Friends from Georgetown think they got him flipped because Moose is coming back.
Oh, okay. They ain't talking about shit. Y'all ain't talking about. Get y'all ugly ass on.
Nah, he's already signed. I mean, he's already signed his national letter of intent to play for Memphis.
Man, got his first check, man. FedEx already broke that man out. Get y'all ugly ass.
Yeah, man. He's fine.
Y'all ain't about hooping since this is Jeff Green, man. Get y'all sorry.
Since Matt McClung.
Matt McClung or something like. Get y'all boot ass about it. The blackest university in America, Matt McClung.
Matt McClung's your superstar.
Man, get the hell up out of here, man. Get y'all.
When they gonna retire that? Where are they gonna retire Matt McClung?
Dunking with a G League jersey on. Get your booty ass out of there, George. Bro, hey, Parish. I don't know. Me and Kenny are both a generation ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
You do not know. And Kenny, you know this even as a white guy. Nothing beat early 90s, bro. If you had that Georgetown either starter jacket or that Georgetown jersey, I had the set.
That great jersey.
You know, I would go to school with a whole uniform, a whole jersey, and the shorts.
Hey, what was the movie? What was the movie with Tupac basketball? No.
Above the rim.
Above the rim.
That's where that thing, that fit went crazy.
Georgetown was the black university, bro. If you were black, you had to a Georgetown shirt. Something. Georgetown University was everywhere. Then they got Allen Iverson. He was wearing the Concord Jordans out there. Paris, you had to be there, bro. You had to be there. Like Georgetown basketball was every. You know how like people like oh, this is my second team. Georgetown. Oh, it's just like this right here, bro. It's like Colorado football is to black people. Yep. Georgetown was the team you pulled for. Coach John Thompson.
But for a longer period. I mean, it was for a good
long time. For about a good 20 years, Georgetown was like
they had those back-to-back centers like Lonzo Moore.
You see that flag you got behind you, that Grizzlies joint had got that MGM stuff on the side. MGM, Memphis Grizzlies thing.
Yeah.
Georgetown had that little kente cloth looking design around the collar. Oh, that shit was so fire, bro. That shit was so fire, bro.
Dude, those old
you had to be there, bro.
Those old Georgetown jerseys were some of the nicest.
Shit, bro. Hey, go to hell though, Georgetown. You ain't getting nobody, man. Dame Danger, you're a Tiger for life. Speaking of Tigers for life, David Jones, bring your sorry ass back to Memphis. You out there looking terrible. You out there looking terrible.
I ain't even seen you.
Hey, man, let me tell you, a rough couple of days.
Bring your ass back, man.
So
bring your head ass back to Memphis, man. You out there looking bad, bro. Go ahead.
So this dude comes the first day of draft combine, Parish. You know this. They do the measurements, right? So they got him listed on the Memphis website 6'6". He comes out 6'3.5". 6'3.5"
shorter than what they were saying,
with a 67-inch wingspan, which everybody's like, oh, it's a plus. It's a plus wingspan. That's a short wingspan for a basketball player. That's a short wingspan.
I told you, man. I said David Jones' body ugly as hell, but that dude's not an NBA player.
But then he comes out today to play in the scrimmages.
Extra sorry. Get your ass back to Memphis, bro.
Like 4 turnovers in one scrimmage. Like some national public writer comes out and he's like, certain dudes do themselves really big favors to play in the draft combine scrimmage. That is not David Jones today.
Hey, bring your ass back. We'll see you in July. Bring your ass back. It's over.
Hey, May 29th, we'll see him, bro, in about 2 weeks.
You know, like, bring your ass back to Memphis.
Hey, that's tough.
So, yeah. For you, NBA, bring your nobody ass back to Memphis.
Hey, maybe this whole NFL NBA discussion. Maybe he can go play football.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm so sick of that dumb stuff, bro. Look, the NBA playoffs going on. These folks arguing about who can go. Nobody for the NFL can make it in the NBA. Nobody NBA.
Nobody big going outside of football.
You are a master. Those guys who are pros are masters at their craft, bro. You ain't. I don't care who you are. You're not just gonna go over there and just be good. Like, no, it don't work like that, man. I'm sorry. But also, Tiger basketball news. We talked about this. Started off. Musa Cisse coming back home. I'm down for this. I'm low key excited about this. Musa Cisse, a guy who was a top 10 player in his class, not in his position, in his class. He kind of was in a bad position, man, because we had the disappointment of losing James Wiseman. And then the next year, like, well, we don't, James Wiseman was a number 1, number 2 type player in this class behind Anthony Edwards. And it's like, okay, well, we got the number 10 guy. He can't be too much off, right? He just had really bad expectations. Like, we had really high expectations for Musa. We got a much more developmental player than we were anticipating. Took some years away from us. Went to Oklahoma State, was Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year there, if I'm not mistaken. Went to Ole Miss, didn't really have the best run there. But I'm excited to see Musa back. And I'm seeing people talking about, yeah, he'll be great as a starter. This is Penny Hardaway we're talking about, man. Musa's going to start some games. I mean, he'll be off the bench. He'll start. I mean, we hear people saying he'll be good coming off the bench. Man, Penny's going to switch this shit up so much. You're going to see him and Dame probably playing together and 3 bigs and all. He's talking about Nick Jordan. He want to see him on the wings. Oh, yeah, Penny gonna get some bullshit beyond this shit. They can be throwing some combinations on y'all ass.
Here we go again.
But yeah, I'm down for it, man. I'm down for it for sure. Glad to see.
Somebody posted the numbers. I forgot I saw it, but like every team, the defense of every team he's been on, except I think last year was on the year. Like they've been top 10 defense. Memphis was, Oklahoma State was, Ole Miss's first year was. I think last year it tailed off, but defensively, he makes an impact.
Yeah, I'm down for it, man. Like I said, some of Penny's best teams have been, with Musa on them. One of his great defensive teams is with Musa on their team. And you're getting a grown ass man version of him now, and not this kid with all these probably way unnecessary expectations put on him. So I'm excited about all of that. Number 2, man, LeBron James and Bronny James, the James family. Meet the Jameses. James family matters going on right here. Yeah, I'll share my quick thoughts about this. LeBron James, of course, showed up at the Cleveland Cavaliers game when they lost to Boston. Winehurst comes in, dropping his little 2 cents. LeBron, man, he just has to be a part of something, man. You know what I mean? Like, and is he going to Cleveland? I doubt it. LeBron's not going anywhere for what would it be, the MLE? They got the ML. They're not taxpayers. Yeah, I doubt LeBron's doing something like that. I would laugh my balls off if he did, because the whole guys go to big markets narrative. The king of the NBA going back to Cleveland would be hilarious as hell. And I don't want to hear this as hometown stuff, because if you take that one away from the people on my side of the narrative, you got to give me Kawhi Leonard and Paul George back too if we're going to the Clippers. So that's what y'all want to do. Just make sure that's what y'all want to do. But I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to end up with that. I don't know what he's going to end up doing. The Bronny situation, I'm super torn on this, man. Because part of me is like, Bronny, you're not an NBA player. You're letting your dad's, name kind of get you somewhere that your ass, write a check that your ass can't cash. But then I'm like, man, why am I mad at LeBron or Bronny from walking in footsteps that his dad left for him? We've seen that all throughout time. You know what I mean? When kids have benefited from their fathers. And if LeBron is, if his name, if his game, if his legacy, is enough credential to get his kid in, and there's enough equity invested in him that that his son can spend that cash as well. I ain't mad at that shit, bro. Because what most likely scenario, there's a lot of stupid things people are saying, right? Because I saw some meme on somewhere like, well, should the Hawks use the number 1 pick to take Bronny and get LeBron? Like, but this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen, right? LeBron is going to make his decision probably on what he's going to do, and he's going to have communications with the team he plans on going to, which is more likely going to be the Lakers, might be Golden State, and he'll be like, look, just give Bronny a camp invite, put him on your G League team, give him a 2-way, whatever. Nobody's going to burn a draft pick on Bronny James. No team with a brain is going to use a draft pick on Bronny James. Like, this is not. I can't see that being a real reality. And here's my thing too. Could Bronny James go back to college and end up being a player that develops and he's a good college player, makes it to the NBA? Sure.
Yeah.
But And him, if he becomes a pro and he's just a G League guy, or I don't think anybody's gonna burn a roster spot for him. But am I mad if he's like, kind of in the same system as his dad and be Scottie Pippen Jr., but Scottie Pippen still playing? Am I mad? Am I mad if that's a situation? Like he's gonna be a pro. Like he'll be a pro basketball player, getting better in the G League, which he definitely can do. I think they could definitely work. It did not work for Dwayne Wade's son, who tried the same shit pretty much. But we'll see how the whole thing plays out, man. But number 3. Go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
I think the problem that I have with it is that you've got the way that people cover, and even Rel talked about it on the last show that we had, the way that media covers LeBron James. They cover LeBron James, and he is the best basketball player of this generation, right? What are they going to do to a Bronny who, no doubt, front offices are going to try to do something with if they bring him into the G League or if they bring him onto the roster or whatever, they're going to try to maximize with eyes Bronny's experience out there, and the media is going to be nasty, I think, and that's the part that drives me. That's the part that I'm the only thing that I'm like, man, this is terrible what they're doing.
This is where I kick back with that though, Kenny. We didn't see that at USC. We didn't see like this, the Bronny cam or like we didn't see any of it. Like I don't remember him getting much attention at all playing the USC. Like,
but I would say this.
I think we're making this a bigger story than what the reality of it really will be.
I would say this. I thought we didn't see that as much is because of the whole cardiac arrest thing. He
was playing though. He came back and he played.
I mean, he did, but I thought
there was still some goodwill there.
Yeah, if that never happened.
I'm talking about this coverage. I'm not talking about like expectations or slamming him. I'm talking about I don't even remember there being just massive coverage.
Yeah, it wouldn't been like that, because they had to be winning. If they were winning, but since they weren't really that good,
yeah.
NBA media is different, man, because most of the time, USC is just not good enough. Like national publications aren't really covering USC basketball. Like, and the way that even the Memphis media has to work when it comes to covering the Tigers.
Yep.
You got to be very careful with the stuff that if you want to continue to have the ability to cover that team, you got to walk kind of,
you're talking about criticism. Yeah. If he's in the G League,
I'm talking about the ESPN daily shows, the Fox Sports daily shows that literally feels like they try to like one up each other in bullshit every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
And these hot takes. That's the part that I'm like, man, like, is it fair to do that to that kid? And it shouldn't be that way. Like, should that be a consideration for the James family? It shouldn't be, because this kid is pursuing a dream. This kid is pursuing something that he wants to do. The fact is, like, they already came out and said today, like, he measured at 6'1". If they had him listed at 6'5". Like, he's a 6'1" guard. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, it's just, I can guarantee you they're salivating over there in Connecticut and they're ready to go off on this kid.
Yeah,
tear this kid down.
I get that. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for sure. Hey, it's part of the thing.
You're a pro, man.
Yeah. It comes to being part of, the son of the king for sure. Number 3, man, A'ja Wilson. Definitely want to talk about this. When we were doing our notes yesterday,
man,
this is going to be part of what we talked about anyway, but the conversation's got a little bit more spice here, right? First of all, shout out to A'ja Wilson. Nike did a great rollout about her upcoming shoe. The A1, I think it's going to be dope.
I have a shoe.com. That's such a dope shirt.
And Don Staley also said she rolling out like a clothing line and all sort of stuff. That's why it's been on hold. So
let's go.
Yeah. But see, here's hey, I threw out my thing, man. Hey, I'm in the wrong business, I think. I'm supposed to be making some people some millionaires, including myself, man. Nike in 5 years. The Ja 1, A'ja, the A1, A'ja, the hybrid shoe where you take 5 years from now, when you take the first Ja 1 and the first South Carolina, when you put them just together. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, it's gonna be hard when they drop it.
Her name is A'ja.
The A'ja 1. Ooh, they gonna be nasty. Anyway, I ain't seen those shoes talking. It's gonna be nasty. Well, yeah, shout out to her for getting her own shoe, man. Shout out to I ain't gonna lie, I'm loving this WNBA renaissance, and everything that's coming along with it. We got the Golden State Valkyries today.
Which have you seen their jerseys and stuff?
Yeah,
their
it's giving
colorway.
Black Panthers, giving Black Panther vibes. I can get with the black.
I like it.
Yeah, I can
The
get with it for
purple?
sure. Got the little Wakanda, what's my stuff? Vibranium vibe going. I can get with it for sure.
Why Valkyrie though? Like Valkyrie
It's just
was
like
like
a female version of a warrior type shit.
but Valkyrie was like, wasn't that the German, the Nazi, like?
No, Valkyries were like the goddesses, like the Thor and them shit, like the Valkyries, the female fighters, warriors.
I just remember seeing a Tom Cruise movie called Valkyrie, and he was not anyway. Doesn't matter, but yeah, that's
I think it's like a lady warrior, bro. I think it's like a lady warrior for sure.
But like that.
So yeah, the Valkyries are coming. All this stuff is dope. But Agent Wilson made some comments. When I saw the comments, I wasn't seeing it nowhere but like Outkick and like other. I'm like, okay, bro, is this real? Like I'm not seeing any like other publications talk about this. I was trying to make sure my girl was getting quoted correctly. Let me bring up the exact quote because I don't want to misquote this because I know y'all be on some bullshit when it comes down to certain stuff. In an interview with the Associated Press, Wilson said there was a race element to Caitlin Clark's monumental popularity. So we're talking about how she feels about Caitlin Clark, right? And the fact that she's getting this popularity and being a white woman. Wilson says, I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me it is, Wilson said. It really is because you could be top notch of what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. They don't see it as marketable, so it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what we all do. As black women, we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's what it boils. That's why it boils in my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is. Let's talk about it. First of all, I think this is a very nuanced conversation. I think it's impossible to talk about this and lean one way or the other. Something that's unique about this show is that I'm definitely not intimidated to speak about the issues of race at all. Kind of gets me going a little bit, to be honest with you. So with that being said, are there elements of truth in what she's saying?
Yes.
Not just in sports.
Of course.
But in the world. Like, are there elements of how black women are perceived, whether that's the angry black woman, whether that's the money hungry, hard to date, hard to deal with? Are those all things that have been thrown out in society? I think there are elements of truth to that. Is it easier to present to the entire country a middle America white girl to people in the masses? There's some truth to that, right? Is Caitlin Clark's popularity because she's white? I think that's a very false statement.
Yeah.
I think it's a very false statement. Caitlin Clark is a very good basketball player, and she's doing some things, and there are people talking about, well, there are people with better numbers, and she never won a championship. And lady's doing some stuff. First of all, she scored more points than anybody scored in college basketball history.
Yeah, she broke records, man.
Right. So let me just put that out there first, right? And there's been a lot of really good white girls that have came through college basketball and the WNBA, right? That have not got this type of hype.
Yep.
And like I talked about a few weeks ago, hype is what it is, man. Who are you to say hype is what it is? There is no validation to hype. If hype is hype does. Her shit is high as hell right now. You know what I mean? So do I think there's a because she's white element to this? Of course there is. And that's something that I've talked about here forever. And this is so many things I've said, Kenny. You hit me up about another one about white people and dick jokes. You talked to me about it the other day, right? And then we did one today when we started talking about Vucevic, and the guy said, let's call him Vooch the Gooch. Like, why you want to call this man a gooch?
Why are we talking about
what's
that?
inside you wants to call the man a gooch? I don't get it. Right? Anyway, things I've said are coming to life.
Kevin Hart brought it up. Kevin Hart brought it up on the Tom Brady roast. He's like, man, white dudes and
white
dick
people
jokes,
and dick
bro.
jokes, man. Y'all just can't help it. You just can't help it. Dicks and balls. White guys just love talking about dicks and balls. Anyway. Anyway, like I said, another thing that I talked about a few weeks ago that I'm always going to talk about is bias in sports based on race and things like that. Any sport that is, first of all, there is a massive influx of super casual, really don't give a damn WNBA quote unquote eyes or fans. I ain't going to call them fans, viewers, people who are spectators, the WNBA. I'm in that mode. I've never been a WNBA fan. If you go back in my archives, you can find me saying some messed up shit because of the WNBA, bro. But with that being said, this renaissance of basketball we're seeing right now, with the people that are coming into this, the ladies who are in this and people who are coming into this now, whether that's Angel Reese, whether that's Caitlin Clark, it's exciting. It is what it is, man. And like I say all the time, white people are the only race that everybody gets excited about bias, right? When Tiger Woods was a black man who looked like black people out there playing golf, black people got excited about seeing Tiger Woods out there, and we became casual spectators of golf, and some of us have became diehard golf fans now, right? Serena and Venus. Do you think my black ass was not excited watching Serena and Venus? Serena and Venus Williams, right?
For more reasons than
right, for several reasons. You know what I mean?
For several reasons.
Seeing a fat ass on TV, on mainstream television, like you do not see this, right? But for real. All right, so that's a real thing, man. Like people have bias, bro. If you're a WWE, if you're a wrestling fan like myself, the WWE is having pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia to pander to Saudi. They made a Saudi Arabian champion to pander to Saudi Arabian fans, right? They made Rey Mysterio the champion to pander to Hispanic audiences. They do these things, bro. Like, and whenever they do these Saudi shows or these shows in France or wherever, Germany, wherever, they have wrestlers up there that those countries, those people can relate to, right? Because that's my guy, that's my people. You're silly if you think there's no element of race at all. There is, bro. Because even in the WNBA, that's a sport that's dominated by black women, right? And now there's somebody that looks more like them who's doing some wild Steph Curry shit that we ain't never seen before. Like that's just understood. But to act like it's all racist, that's just not a true statement. But the fact that she's a white girl ain't hurting. It ain't making it no worse for her, man. Like it's just come on, bro. Like I mean, that's something that you'll always get from this show. I'm not gonna give you some goofball ass response. I'm gonna tell you the dead truth. Like it is true that there are certain things, imagery, and just society, social media, all these things that are creating negative images of black ladies, right? Where they're not the most desirable package. I disagree. I love them to death, but that is true. Like a lot of elements of what A'ja Wilson is saying is true. A lot of people aren't ready for us. They're not ready for a powerful, strong black woman. Like that's true. Like that is dead on. But the stuff she's saying about Caitlin Clark, I can't 100% agree with it because she's a phenomenon within herself. And to prove my point, y'all wait till Juju come through. Y'all wait till Juju come through, and you're gonna see that there's certain elements of what you're saying because it's gonna be even bigger. I think it's gonna be even bigger, bro. I think when Juju is a sophomore, junior, senior, it's gonna be bigger than this Caitlin Clark stuff, which is crazy, and it's just gonna be absolutely wonderful for the sport of the WNBA. And the thing is, man, if you want to talk about race, if you want to eliminate race from this conversation, cool. But the entire NBA as we know it today was birthed through one of the nastiest race wars. My side versus your side, my guy versus your guy, us versus y'all, Lakers versus Celtics, Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird was one of the nastiest, most racially charged things in the history of sports ever. In the modern NBA as we know it was birthed from. So let's just have a real conversation about it, bro. It's a way more nuanced conversation than it is something that's black and white. No pun intended. Well, pun intended. You know what I mean? So that's all I got on that, man. But yeah, that's it. That's the 3-pointer. And when we come back, man, it's time for Inside the Same Brain, sponsored by good friends at Create A Cig. I might need to take me a puff in between segments. That was kind of heavy to talk about. We'll see you guys in a minute.
I wonder if Luke is going to survive because he fell to the floor the other night when he got up and reminded me of myself getting up off the floor these days. I was like, my God, he looks like he's 50 years old trying to get up off the floor. I think Luke is embellishing a little bit because he might be beat up and everything, but I think he's embellishing a little bit to just, he's pulling the old bait and switch on people.
A little bit.
I told my brothers the other day on text, I'm almost getting tired of watching them bitch and moan the whole game.
Oh my God.
It's over. It's literally over everything. And it's not just over, was it a call, not a call? Is it my teammate didn't want, or if I threw a pass, you weren't there? I'm just, all of the antics are getting old. For somebody who is such a great basketball player, the whining has gotten absolutely take control of. It's every possession.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. At Create A Cig, our top priority is to provide the best customer service experiences possible while offering the largest variety of vape supplies, legal THC products, and smoking accessories. Our trained sales associates are here to assist any and all customers to help them find available. With our daily deals, weekend deals, loyalty rewards program, and our punch card program, there are tons of rewards to earn to help our customers save plenty of money along the way. Check out one of Create A Cig's 4 locations across the greater Memphis area and come visit us.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Final segment of the show. I call this Inside the Same Brain. Brought to you by good friends at Create A Cig. Kenny, I got a Create A Cig story waiting to start off this segment, man. Put it up, man. Put up the Sain Asylum packs, man.
Let's get to it.
Pull them up. Let's get to them. Pull them up. Pull them up.
Sain Asylum packs, man.
Let me,
Parish, what Sain Asylum pack have you tried yet? Have you tried any of these?
No. Not at all.
Paris still waiting, man. Still waiting for
He's waiting for the 50% off deal. That's what he's
right,
waiting.
Exactly. All right. Now I'm gonna point your eyes to the screen. If you're looking at the Delta 8 pack, right? It's got a pre-roll that comes with it, man. The Torch, the 2.5G pre-roll, right? Tried that yesterday. I've of course been hitting the vape all the time. We talked about the gummies last week, Kenny. I hit that Torch pre-roll the other day. It's THCA. I think THCA is usually a pretty uppity weed. It's a sativa blend, if I'm not mistaken. But I hit that joint yesterday, right? And I'm used to pre-rolls, but normally when I get a pre-roll, it's just the weed and the paper, right? This joint has some type of like resin something on the outside that was making it burn really slow, right? And that mug was hitting, bro. I really enjoyed the experience that I had hitting that joint that I got from Create A Cig, good friends, Create A Cig, 4 area locations like I talked about. I go to the one on Madison, check them out. Kenny, you go to the one out in, is it Carterville, Cordova? Which is the one that you go to, Ken? I don't even know if Kenny's still with us right now.
He froze, bro. Yeah.
We're going to keep it rolling. But yeah, we're going to get, I said, my boy, he must be hitting some product right now this week. But yeah, like I said, there he is. 4 area locations. Great to see Kenny, you with us, bro? Hey, what did you?
I'm with you, man.
We thought you was on one of them Edey monsters over there, man. I know what you was on. Bro.
I hit one of them pre-rolls and everything glitched for a second.
Hey, that pre-roll dead serious. I really enjoyed my experience with it. I went uncomfortably high. I was right where I wanted to be. It lasted like I wasn't feeling high for hours, but I could tell it was still, there. You know what I mean? So it was a really enjoyable high. Check that out. Ask for it by name. It's the THCA Torch pre-roll. Get that joint when you get it's part of the Sain Asylum pack where you get 3 items. Like I said, you get a pre-roll, you get a vape of your choice, you get a pack of gummies of your choice. All those are super awesome. On the nicotine side, you get any wave bar, any Ursa hand kit, any 60 milliliter theory or 30 milliliter salt nick for all my salt nickers out there. Make sure y'all pick that up, man. The Sain Asylum pack. You got the nicotine pack, you got the Delta 8 pack. Y'all make sure y'all grab one today, man. But there's been a story going on, Kenny Stubblefield, that's made me have to get high as a kite just to process all that's going on. I'm absolutely torn on this. All three of us are men. All 3 of us have worked with young people. Parish Sharkey, have you worked with young ladies in your time?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So all of us can speak on those type of things, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something that might be a little sensitive subject with some of y'all but I'm just gonna tell it how I feel it. If it offends you, I don't know what to tell you. There's a video going around Kenny Summerfield, Parish Sharkey, of a gentleman, formerly a teacher. This appears to be middle school that he's teaching just by looking at the age of the girls. He looks to be a fairly young guy. Looks like he's probably about 23, 24 max, something like that. Fairly young teacher. But all accounts that I've seen, everyone has talked about, they've said this guy is an amazing teacher, that the kids in this school, boys and girls, really relate to him. Super creative. They say he's just an amazing guy, has personal relationships with everyone. Just one of those new cutting-edge teachers that are doing new methods, using new methods to reach new generation of kids, right? This brother made a fatal mistake. When I say fatal, I don't mean life or death, but his career as a teacher in his particular state is now ended, because I believe his license was ended in this entire state that he lives in, because of a situation where a video posted to his social media. He's a social media influencer as well, and we'll get into that. But he posted a video. He wears his hair braided. I wear my hair braided as well. And he wears his hair braided. He had the girls, several girls from all of his classes, taking his braids down. And what he said was the last 10 minutes of the day. And I'm going to paraphrase how my best understanding of what happened. It seems like throughout the day, he was recruiting his team that was going to come unbraid his hair, right? Like, hey, you from first period, like, I need you, like, who's your last period teacher? I'm gonna reach out to her, and all the girls had to have good and did the work for the day, good conduct, all these type of things. And he got permission from all their teachers for them to come back to his last class and all take his hair down. He had an appointment after school. Quick black people stuff. People who braid hair charge you more if they got to take your hair down. Then they charge you again. They got to wash your hair. So he saved a little money to take his hair down. Have these girls take his hair down. All right. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this joke just to kind of break the ice. When it comes down to dealing with teenage girls, middle school girls, underage girls, anything that would terrify me as a man to have to do in jail, I'm not going to invite a teenage girl to do.
That's a good way to put it.
If I were in jail, okay, in Summerfield, and some dude was like, "Hey man, come take my braids down."
That's
that would be
Not gonna be able to do it.
That would be the scariest shit in the world. That would be the scariest shit in the world.
It's enough for me to die.
All right, so here's my thing, and I've seen a lot of people say, you know, that just shows the level of comfort they have, the level of community, the level of family they have, the level of love they have for this teacher. I understand all of that, right?
Yep.
But if his job is to be the best teacher he can be for these girls, these young ladies, he put himself in a horrible position. He wasn't doing his part to protect his job or protect those girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if you want to be a teacher, be a teacher. If you want to take your teaching elements and make that a fire-ass social media content thing, I've seen that too. I've seen a lot of them. I've seen some of them fine as hell. I'm going to send you some links. Don't worry about it. No, I'm saying, anyway, if that's what you're doing, right? But it's kind of hard to be both, bro. Unless you're making it strictly focused on school stuff. Because he does all types of videos. And I'm not gonna get into one video that he put out that was out of bounds. You know what I mean? I don't know how old he was at the time when he made this video. I don't know if he was. I hope he wasn't a teacher at the time of the video I've seen. I'm not gonna reference that. You go find it. It's out there if you want to go find that video. But I think the brother, me personally, because I talked to a couple people. I talked to my boy Savage on Twitter, right? I said, Savage, I need your opinion. I don't want to talk on Twitter. Let me call you. Savage is a man. He's a father. He's an educator. And he's been a young teacher, right? He hit the nail on the head. He was like, man, he ain't got no mentors. A mentor would have told him, nah, man, I understand your heart. I understand your desire to do whatever. I'm not accusing this dude of nothing freaky. I'm not accusing them of being a pedophile. Not accusing them of crossing any lines with these girls that he teaches, right? But it's just certain things that,
being naive.
Yep. You know, Kenny, working with these kids, working with these girls, it's just certain stuff you don't do, man. When I was working with these young ladies, and another element that is totally being left out, a lot of people aren't talking about, these girls get crushes on you whether you want them to or not, bro. Like that happens. Kenny, you got stories. I got stories. I've had girls I've had to removed from my program, not because of coming on to me, but girls who were like, because there was a girl, Kenny, who there was a rumor going around that she had some improper stuff going on with somebody else in our center. I don't even know, you know what I'm talking about. There was a girl, there was a rumor that she had some improper stuff going on with somebody. She was asking a girl that was part of my program, hey, are you and Mr. Sain like me and so-and-so? Like, that was happening. So I had to go to that girl. I'm like, hey,
I said,
nah. Holler at you. Because I ain't even know nothing like that to go around about me because I don't play it. And people got to understand, even back then, Kenny, 10 whatever years ago that was when we were working with kids, we had to take kids home in vehicles, right? Mm-hmm. I guarantee you never dropped a girl off as the last person in your vehicle. Not one time. And you have to do things to protect yourself and to protect those young ladies, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can say with pretty clear confidence, I don't think I ever dropped a female off in my entire time there.
You talking about like period or just by herself?
Like at all?
Because you know your group is mostly boys though.
And we also had female coaches.
Exactly.
That were.
Exactly. See, y'all program was totally different. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all had more resources than us, bro. We had. Y'all shit was different. Y'all shit was different, bro. Big bang, take a little bang.
So we had female coaches and there was a very clear.
They can get sketchy too, but that's a whole other episode.
Well, no, yeah. No, but I think that's Briarcrest. Oh, my bad.
There's actually another organization, but we ain't gonna say today. All right, go ahead, right? Go ahead, Ryan. Go on, keep going. Play folks. Take walks over the.
How about it? Let me delete that.
Yeah, we traumatized over here, man. That was a little somebody. Go ahead.
But no, I think there are as a young man or even as a like me and you, we weren't young then. We were in our 30s.
You were pretty young, bro. But we were 29, 30 yet.
Yeah, we were in our 30s when we were doing that. But I think there's a level of you've got to create. There's this idea that you have to almost become like all things to these kids.
Yep.
Right? Like you have to fill every single role for these kids. Be their friend, be their mentor, be their parental figure in a lot of ways, be their coach, be their whatever it may be their spiritual leader. And it's like at the same time, it's like I'm a firm believer in staying in your lane, right? Like stay in your lane, develop solid boundaries within that lane, and deal with the people in your life within that lane, whether it's an adult or whether it's a child, especially if it's a child, right? Like if it's a young minor, like you absolutely, especially if it's a female and you're a male, you absolutely have to create these boundaries around like, hey, I'm coach. I'm not anything else. Like you are touching a part of me when you mess with, when you're touching my hair like that. That is a boundary that can't be crossed. And to me, exactly what Savage said, that dude didn't have any mentors, man, because if he had an older, he needed a Paul in his life is what he needed, Anthony. But he didn't have a mentor in his life to say, just on some real stuff, you can't do that. Like that's a boundary that can't be crossed.
Right.
And I feel for the guy because more than likely, this guy is probably a great guy and probably meant nothing bad by what he
probably wouldn't harm them girls in the slightest.
But here's the problem. 2 out of 10 of those guys might not be really good guys. And what happens if you don't set that ground rule?
Sick situation, man. And I reached out to
sports much.
Yep. I reached out to Gay's mom, who's a teacher as well, right? And she works with special needs kids, and she can tell you a whole nother list of stories of just because these kids oftentimes aren't able to articulate or defend themselves or really express what's going on. So there's another level of precaution you have to use in that field, right? So I called her. I was like, "Hey, what do you think about what's going on?" She said, "I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "It's a teacher, yada yada, doing his hair." You know, the first question she asked me was, "How old is he?"
Yeah,
I said he's probably like maybe 22, 23, 24 maybe. Oh, he's too young. He's too young for that. Now he's too old for that. Oh, he's too young for that. Yeah, because those girls think he's obtainable. And I remember, man, when I was working for this church, I wasn't even working with kids at the time. I had a totally different job at this church, right? This is a very necessary lesson I heard from a man. Something didn't even apply to me because I wasn't working with kids at this time, right? He said, be careful when you're working with young people and even when you're working with parents, because a lot of times our people are so over-centralized and traumatized and abused that they mistake love and sex. And a lot of these young girls have never experienced love before. So their response to, okay, this person loves me, I owe them something. Only way I can pay them back is with my body. And with a lot of these girls, Kenny, you saw it, I saw it. You don't feel any way towards them. You ain't got no kind of sick thoughts about them. But they idolize you. They put you in an improper place. They have crushes on you. And my man just was not in a good place. Even when he was reading those group text messages, I was like, that level of intimacy is kind of strange. It's kind of off.
He was in group text message threads with these kids.
Yeah, I don't know if it was DMs he was reading.
Numbers. Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, like, bro, we didn't have these kids' numbers like that. We didn't. I had your mama number.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
When I was in the program, I had your parents. I contacted your parents first. I didn't contact
I had nothing to talk to you about.
I felt for the kid. I felt for that kid when I first saw that video. I haven't read much about it since and kind of what's come out with it. You talked about this video that you're not going to reference, but it's out of bounds a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot being, but you know, being in a group message, man, like that. That man was playing. He was reading
responses from the kids. So I don't know if those individual DMs he might have been getting on Instagram. He's a social media guy. So I don't know if that was DMs he was getting, or if that was a group chat he was reading, or individual text message. I don't know. But you know, you talk to women, they'll say, "Nah, that's a little bit too much." Because someone might
you're playing with fire.
Yeah, if someone might say, I guarantee you, somebody's like calling him my boo or my baby, or I think it's some of that type of stuff going on. And back to the braiding hair thing as we wrap this up, man. I know women who do hair, who braid hair, who will say, who might braid hair at their house, right? Who might say, I don't braid guys' hair. Like, that's too intimate. Like, no, I don't, you're not coming to my house. It's just me and you, and no, you ain't doing none of it. Like, you know, hey, and I get that, you know what I mean? Like, it can be a pretty intimate experience, bro, depending on the level of comfort you got with your braider or whatever, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, man, I'm not trying to make it a sexual thing, like he crossed any boundaries on their level with them, but it's just a horrible look, man. It's definitely not something I would turn a camera to and hit record and put out there for the whole world to see, for sure. But like I said, man, it's just one of those things, man. It's one of those things where you wish you had a good pre-roll from Create A Cig. He probably should have lit one up before he went to school that day.
Before you just put it on social media.
Or before you push record on your phone, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of grateful that he recorded it, though, even though it was kind of dumb of him.
People need to learn from that, man. Like,
he has to learn from that shit.
Yep.
Like, I can guarantee you that will never happen again.
Never. No way. No way. But yeah, man, it's been a good show, gentlemen. I appreciate y'all for today. A lot of stuff going on. Like I said, my man Chip Williams will be on Friday. I'm sure we're gonna do the full gamut, the full rundown of guys who could possibly fall down to the Grizzlies. I'm sure Chip is gonna be great. Oh, he's ready for this, man. He's at the house like Goldberg right now, waiting to get invites on all the Bluff City people. And I don't know if mine is the first or not, but we definitely gonna get my boy Chip Williams in. But for Kenny Stubblefield, for Parish Sharkey, it's your boy Anthony Sain. We will see y'all next week, man. We out this thing.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.